The only thing I regret with quitting social media is not doing it sooner. Hey there, I'm Julia Lauren. I have been off social media since about December of 2022. That's not to say I've been completely social media free. I mean, I'm making this video right here, and then there's gonna be the videos that come after it. But for about 8 months or so, I've been without Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, among other forms of social media. Can't get off YouTube though. I learned way too much here. And one of the things I learned is that experts say it takes about 40 days to completely break or make a habit. Now I could, dust off my psychology degree that I got years ago, but instead I will just put this in layman's terms and not make it boring. Going a full 40 days in breaking or making a new habit reprograms your brain so that it learns this new behavior and actually sticks to it after the 40 days are up. And before this 8-month-long journey, the longest I'd ever gone without social media was back in 2019 for, you guessed it, 40 days. And back then, I didn't just stop using social media, I stopped using technology. No movies, no FaceTime, no email, no texting. And I didn't tell anybody I was doing it either. I just completely fell off the face of the earth. The first couple of days were torture, but slowly I was able to kind of remind myself that I had all these other passions that I actually had time for now that I wasn't filling up space with the internet. I knew that I had people reaching out to me, and I felt terrible because, again, I didn't tell anybody that I was leaving social media. I just left. So after the 40 days were up, the first thing I did was I reached for my phone so I can check all of my missed calls and all of my missed text messages. There were none. That was the biggest wake-up call that I never asked for. The world kept going and people kept living. My existence on social media did not alter the existence of others. And honestly, that realization really hurt. It was liberating because I realized in that moment that I don't have to care. And so I stopped. Fast forward to 2021 and we are in November and I decided to take on NaNoWriMo. In October of 2021, I spent the entirety of that month preparing myself for November. And one of the biggest things that I can recall learning was that you need to make time so that you had a chance to write. So the first thing I thought was to cut social media. I had already done it for 40 days, so what was another 30 days? So I posted my last post to Instagram and I cut off social media altogether. And during that 40 days, the only thing my phone was used for was for work or for playing the Genshin Impact soundtrack. I committed myself to writing 2,000 words every single day for 30 days. And by November 30th, 2021, I, Julia Lauren, wrote a novel. I did it. I wrote a novel in a month and the world kept moving. It was actually during that time that I was writing the novel that I realized how much space I had if I actually took the time to create it. When I didn't fill it with trying to beat an algorithm or trying to keep up with people who, let's face it, kept living despite what I was doing. I didn't want to be liked anymore. I didn't want to build a brand and beat an algorithm and all these other things that influencers told me I wanted. I wanted space. I wanted time. I wanted energy to delve into being a creative mind. Quitting social media is really not as hard as people make it out to be. Just like anything else, it takes baby steps, a great support system, and whatever it is that you want more than people tapping a like button. If you've never quit social media before, I highly recommend it. You'll be amazed at just how much you've been hiding from yourself.